Welcome to the Dating Kinky Podcast, a cast about love, sex, romance, and kink. Today's Throwback Thursday is a critical facet in communicating clearly because we have a tendency to hedge our bets and our conversations with the word but as a habit. And the harm we do to our communication when we do this is immeasurable because we really don't know what we are conveying, and what we are saying gets overrun by how the message is received. I'm going to share this short piece I wrote in December of 2018. Then I'm going to revisit the idea with a few thoughts I've had since then. Your butt is showing. Imagine you are with a kinky play partner, lounging around in the afterglow of an amazing scene, and they say, "I really appreciate you as a friend. I'm glad we got to spend time together, and I especially like how your kinks and mine are so compatible." And then they pause and add, "But..." Or someone says, "I was really impressed with that scene you did, but..." "That's an amazing corset, but..." "I like your new hairstyle, but..." Or one of my favorites, "You're right, but..." When we use the word but in the middle of a sentence, it effectively negates everything that goes before it in the minds of others and tells them that the really important bit is coming. It makes that first dangly bit of words before the conjunction a sort of emotional sop that almost no one believes or takes good from, in case you didn't realize. If you did, well, yay. Spread the word. Since I wrote that, I've clarified my thoughts a bit. The key point, as I now see it, is that whatever comes after the but in a sentence takes clear priority. So much so that the first part is a throwaway or a sop, even if it contains truth. Some people felt that when I said negate, I meant that the first part of the sentence was a lie. Not at all. Just that you've nullified it and made it ineffective, which, since you went through the effort of saying it, I'd assume you don't really want to do. So perhaps think things through a bit more carefully. I like to add the word and instead of but when I can, or simply make a complete thought of the first part of my point, discuss that a bit, then go on to also talk about this other thing. Let's use a few of my original examples. "I was really impressed with that scene you did, but I think you got that technique wrong." Versus, "I was really impressed with that scene you did. The way you connected with your partner was deeply moving." This completes that thought. "I was wondering about the technique you used." This starts the new thought and asks for clarification. "That's an amazing corset, but you've got it tied wrong." Versus, "That's an amazing corset. The colors are fantastic for you. You tie your corset differently than I do. I'm curious about that." "I like your new hairstyle, but it really doesn't work for your face." Versus, "I like your new hairstyle. It's fun and bouncy. How do you like it?" In this case, your negative opinion is probably not needed or wanted, so shut it, unless you have a valid reason to stomp on them. And last, but not least, "You're right, but..." Then launch into what is actually right. Versus, "You're right. If I look at this from your perspective, I can totally see your point. And thank you for sharing. My perspective is different, and that's what I'm speaking to. I'm happy to continue the conversation if you'd like." I'll note here that making people right is one of the conversation techniques that I'm personally still working on and have been for years. It's incredibly effective when I remember to use it. What are your thoughts? Do you show your butt more often than you'd like? Have you worked to find ways to reduce that kind of messy communication in your life? Thank Thank you for joining me today. If you love this episode, please share it with others who would enjoy it. And please do join me on our new apps available in the Google Play and Apple App Stores. Dating Kinky. It's built by Kinksters for Kinksters, poly, queer, trans folk, and anyone not quite vanilla. And it's free. Find me on FetLife as Nookie Notes, and on Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and Medium as Dating Kinky. We are on Instagram as Dating Kinky Official, all one word. Also, find me on the new Moan app in beta for iPhone. I'm Miss Nookie there, TheMonapp.com. Have a kinky day, and I'll catch you next episode.